Hey everyone, I need your attention for 1 minute. This is not one of those ads. This is something that has changed my entire life. If you've been listening to this podcast, you know that this is all about personal development as the foundation for everything good in your life. And this podcast is now sponsored by Growth Day, which is the world's first all-in-one personal development app. I mean, oh my gosh, can you imagine having everything all in one place that you need to create the life that you want? Now you can. So if you've been struggling with your motivation, your mood, your productivity, or your purpose, you have to check this out. Growth Day helps you consciously change your life and achieve your potential. It has all the self-improvement tools, motivational classes, and life coaching all in one place. So many of us want to improve our lives, but the question is how? Where do we start? What do we use? How do you get unstuck? How do you make self-improvement stick? Well, research shows how. It's when you consistently journal, track your habits, set goals, learn from empowering mentors, and challenge yourself that you'll be happier, healthier, and more successful. But let me ask you something. Where do you actually do all of your personal development work? I have to tell you that over 300,000 people use Growth Day for a reason. It works. It's the world's #1 software for self-improvement. Growth Day has an amazing mindset journal that I absolutely love, a habit tracker, and a goal-setting system. In fact, I bet if you went to my stories this week, you probably saw me using the journaling app and telling you to do it too, because it's the first time that journaling has ever actually stuck consistently in my life because of this app. And best of all, Growth Day has live inspirational classes every single week from the world's top motivational speakers and life coaches. These are people who have impacted my life in huge ways. These are mentors who I already knew and loved. In fact, this is something that's so huge for me, you guys. I personally teach a class in Growth Day every single month, and it is one of the most fun things that I get to do, and I'd love to see you there. These classes will truly shift your life. There's always something new that you will learn. So join me and 300,000 achievers growing our lives with actual real intention. Visit growthday.com/Lori for a free trial. Yes, you can try this for free. So go to growthday.com/Lori and go live your best life. You guys, that's growthday.com/Lori. And I can't wait to see you there.
It's all of these things that you're taking way too long on, that when you ask successful people what their day-to-day concerns are in their decision making, they do not take time on these things. They're clear on what they want. They're clear on what they don't want. And that is through experiment and going faster with their decision-making process. You're putting too much weight on decisions that should not have any weight on them at all. Welcome to the Earn Your Happy podcast. I'm Lori Harder, founder of The Bliss Project, 3-time fitness world champion, fitness expert, and cover model turned self-love junkie, lifestyle entrepreneur, and author. Each week, I'll bring you a guest or a thought that will help you bust through your fears, connect to your soul, and get focused and clear so you can elevate your life, business, and relationships. We don't wait until we're ready for someone to tell us we're good enough. We take what we want and we anoint ourselves. Get ready to earn, own, and unapologetically rock your happiness every single day. Are you with me? Here we go. Welcome back to the Earn Your Happy podcast. And it's time for another quickie because there's always time to fit in inspiration. You guys, couple cool announcements. If you do not know, I am starting a new podcast. I am absolutely keeping Earn Your Happy. This is such a huge part of my life. I'm obsessed. And I am also going to be starting a podcast with Allie Webb, the founder of Dry Bar, and Britt Driscoll, the founder of Squeeze. And it is called Girlfriends and Business. So definitely watch for that. We will be launching in March. You can go to the Instagram page and check that out. There's not too too much to see there, but we will be updating all about the launch there. So I'm really excited. We're going to have some really candid conversations about starting a business and just girlfriend talk around business and what that support looks like. We really want to be the girlfriends that you wish you always had. We will absolutely be using this as a platform as well to highlight other women's businesses, to bring on a lot of different women to talk about their experiences and celebrate them as well. So I can't wait for that. And I want to know who you want to hear from. So definitely go over to the Girlfriends and Business page on Instagram and also let us know who you would like to hear from, because we are doing our interviews as we speak. So talking on the topic of going faster, right? The entire title for what this quickie is all about. Now, there are a million things that are going to make you go faster in life and faster in your business. And I've had a lot of people recently say, oh my gosh, you have done so much in a short amount of time. I don't think it's short. I think it's been like 11, 12 years at this point. But I'm noticing that I'm doing a lot fast. I'm doing a lot of things very fast in this company. A lot of things are slow. But I will say the things that need more thought is what you have to discern. So these are the things that you need to discern. What are the things that need to move quickly in your life? And what are the things that need to move slow? And I have to tell you that unless it's something that is an extremely long contract, very important contract, right? Or something that is very permanent, the rest can go quickly. And a lot of people are taking way too much time on a decision. And I believe that this is where people get stuck and where businesses do not grow, is that they are taking way too long to make decisions. Things that you should take a little bit longer to decide on are maybe which house you should live in and maybe who you should marry. And if you're ready to have children or if you want to have kids. Another one is hiring, right? Take a little bit longer to do some research and interview some more people and get those interview questions where you want. But pretty much now, of course, I'm leaving things out. Of course, I'm forgetting things, but pretty much everything else, I am going to ask you, to beg you to go faster, right down to your business name. It can be changed. If it's something that doesn't have a massive consequence, you are moving too slow. If you're taking longer than, I don't know, a couple days or a week. Like these things should move so quickly because they are changeable. So I want to talk about this because I see it all the time with logos, with business names, with your website, with the things that you're talking about, with prepping for what your podcast should be about, with prepping what you want to say, with prepping for a talk. You guys are taking way too long. You're not doing enough things and you're not getting enough practice under your belt and you are overthinking everything. Okay, so what I want to talk about is viewing everything as temporary or really understanding how to do the risk reward assessment and how long you should be taking on these different decisions. So things like a logo. Okay, don't spend so much on it in the beginning because you are a beginner and it's going to change. So get something called a temporary logo. I made that up. It's just a logo you don't spend a lot of money on and you use temporarily until you can get some sales and then get a logo that you like, that you really love because you already have established what your company is and your logo and the thought of what you were won't even be the same, right? So you have to start viewing things as temporary decisions or experiments. Pay less if in the beginning you don't have a lot of money for your temporary website. Please do not save on something that you have not even launched or had experience in because it will change. You will want to change it 1 week from launching. You do not get to understand the results until you launch the thing and you don't get clarity and clear on, what you actually want until you're out in the world and doing the thing and getting the experience. So we are putting way too much time into decisions around even friendship. Do I want to go do something with this girl? I don't know. What if are we going to be compatible for life? Oh my God, who cares? Go figure it out. If you weren't compatible, how you find out is going and doing the thing. And then you can let that go. Stop waiting 3 weeks to make a decision if you should go to lunch with this person or go on a workout. Just go and mark it off or just say no and then don't worry about it. It's all of these things that you're taking way too long on, that when you ask successful people what their day-to-day concerns are in their decision making, they do not take time on these things. They're clear on what they want. They're clear on what they don't want. And that is through experiment and going faster with their decision-making process. You're putting too much weight on decisions that should not have any weight on them at all. The decisions that should have weight on them are the ones that we talked about in the beginning. The only way to go faster is to view things as temporary. So right down to, if you're in the beginning of your business and you're like, oh, I want to start scaling, who should I hire next? Maybe start out with a consultant instead. Like, this has freed me up so much. Instead of going, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous about hiring because I've never hired for this position. This feels scary. This feels like a more permanent thing. Look and see if there's consultants that you can hire on a monthly basis or a 3-month basis or a 6-month basis. See if you can negotiate different contracts. Everything is negotiable, because then when you're done, or if it's a month-to-month contract, you can say, oh, that taught me that this is exactly what I want, or this is exactly what I don't want, or this worked and this did not work. Go and work those things out and create temporary things for yourself in order to start learning. But if you are stuck, if you are thinking of a business name and this is the 2nd month, the 3rd month, the 6th month, a year, you're never going to move forward. If you're getting stuck on a business name, you will never be able to make the decisions that actually carry weight. So what I want to share with you, do not get frustrated and don't be overwhelmed or feel bad if I'm saying this. I want you to wake up to the fact that I did the exact same thing and that it's not the stuff that actually matters in business. What you need to do is get yourself a temporary ass name, use it, and then move forward. Like, my friend literally is starting a consulting company for hiring, and she just picked a name because she just doesn't know what she wants to be yet, knowing that she can change the name later. Who cares? You can change the name later. So with that said, everything is temporary. Your logo, your website, the things you're putting out on Instagram, you are taking too long thinking that it needs to be perfect when other people are putting up shitty things, making money, and you are waiting to be perfect. You don't learn until you do it. If you want to go faster, you need to get clear that you're taking way too long in a decision. When I get into these places where I'm taking a long time, I literally give myself a deadline. I'm like, you've taken a week on this decision. You have to decide by the end of the day today, literally 5:00, you are sending this email and you're saying it and you're not going back. And then you're moving forward and knowing that you can either change that thing or whatever that is. Even if it's a weighty decision, like, do the pros and cons and just decide and know that nothing in the world, like, everything is changeable for the most part. Just about everything in the world is fixable. And when I say fixable, it means you're just going to learn how to work with it and deal with it and work it out. So you're going to become the person that can do the thing. Even if you were someone, oh my gosh, even if you're someone who was like, wow, I was not expecting to have a child. Guess what? You'll figure it out. Like, you will figure out how to become a mother or a father or a person who raises a child. And with that said, it's kind of like, no matter what happens, you will figure it out as long as you have the perspective that you will figure it out. And that is a belief that is not something you're born with. That is a belief that you have to work on every single day by not focusing on the negative, by not focusing on the bad. The faster that you can move in some of these decisions, I'm not saying to be mindless or to make decisions that are just like, oh, I was careless. I didn't think about that long enough. Understand the weight of the decision. A logo does not carry weight. Right? You can change it, especially if you didn't spend a lot of money on it. So understand the weight of decisions and then make the decisions that don't carry a lot of weight faster. And even the ones that do carry a lot of weight, those still need to go faster or you will get paralyzed in business and in relationships, in life, all of the things. You really need to move forward to get the experience under your belt that will help you make faster decisions in the future. So with that said, I just want to leave you guys with that thought today, that if you are dragging your heels somewhere, it's not going to get better unless you start knowing that this is a muscle that you need to start flexing and starting to say, great, I'm going to make this decision faster because I need to move forward and I'm going to deal with the consequences that comes with it. Look at the consequences and say, can I deal with this if this happens? Can I deal with this if this happens? What if this happens? Great, let's move. So that's exactly what we do, even right down to when Chris and I moved out of California and moved to Arizona. We made a weighty decision, right? There was a lot of money that went into the move. There was a lot of money that went into this house. And we said, okay, worst case scenario, this is a year-long experiment. And, we try to, if we hate it, we can try to sell our house. Maybe we can lease it out. We can figure that out when that comes, but we can't put so much weight on this that we think that we're making a lifetime decision of now we're living in Arizona. Let me tell you, if I made this a weighty decision and said, okay, you can't get out of this for 5 years, 10 years, I would have never moved here. We said, okay, we will figure it out. If we don't like it, we will figure out best case scenario of how to move somewhere else. It's not a crazy weighted decision that, we said is a permanent thing. Like, I have the belief that we will figure it out. And I also have the belief that, if I want to make up for the money in the move or whatever that looks like, that I will figure out how to make up for that money. It's just what I look for. It's always what you're looking for, and what you choose to believe is what you will then create. And it's just the truth. If you've listened this long enough, it's just the truth. So if you don't believe that, it's because you haven't practiced that belief yet and shown up for yourself and given yourself the confidence and the practice in those beliefs to be able to prove yourself yet. Because I certainly didn't. Ask me 15 years ago, I would have been like, hell no, I can't come up with that money. I'm not capable of that. And I had to risk a lot in order to, know that I was capable. My back had to be against the wall a lot to know that I was capable of doing those things. So you need to put yourself in those weighted decisions. You need to just say yes. You need to give yourself the opportunity with a weighted decision in order to know if you can or can't, right? And the answer is you always can. That's the answer, is you have to choose. The answer is always that you can. And that's the answer that I always consistently choose. I don't think the thoughts of what would happen, if I fail. Like, of course I think those thoughts, but I always think about how can I support myself around that thought? Okay, yes, let's look at what would happen if I fail. And I'm going to assess that risk, but I'm also now going to spend most of my time, I'm going to switch my thoughts because I allowed myself to go there. I'm a human. And I went there, right? And then I always think about, okay, now switch your thoughts. Now, what does it look like? What would be the things if you were successful? What would be the things that would get you out of this? Who would you talk to if you needed to get out of this? What would you do? What would they do? How can you get their advice? How can you get their encouragement? How can you get in that group? So I just want you to really start thinking that you have the power, and it's a belief. So I'm sending you so much love. I want to hear if there's decisions, if this helped you at all. Make a decision, not feel so freaking solid and permanent. Nothing is permanent. Everything is figure outable, you guys, just like Marie Forleo says. So until next time, I just want to know, did this help you? What were your takeaways? Go ahead and tag me on Instagram so that I can see. I always love to see who I'm talking to. And until next time, earn your happy. Bye, everyone. Thank you guys so much for spending this time with me on the Earn Your Happy podcast. I am so glad that you stopped by. If you could take 1 second to share this episode with someone you think would love it, that would be absolutely amazing, and we would be forever grateful. Also, please leave us a review if you feel so moved by going to iTunes and leaving us an honest thought, an honest comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you want to hear more of. It would really help us out on our journey to helping thousands and thousands of people. Until then, don't forget to earn your happy. Thanks again, guys. Bye-bye.
Want to know a huge secret to my success? Okay, not only my success, but just about every single person that I have interviewed on this podcast who is successful has this in common. You guys, they love to journal. They capture their life lessons and what they're grateful for. But a lot of people don't keep this up consistently. And most people do know that the research shows that journaling deepens your gratitude and increases self-awareness. But did you also know that journaling decreases stress and helps you achieve your goals faster? In fact, journaling is a huge differentiator between average performers at work and high-performing people. It leads to longer-term clarity, confidence, and success. So why don't more people journal? Why didn't I journal consistently? Honestly, they don't like staring at a blank page. It's hard to carry a book around with you or a notepad, and they just don't even know what to write about, or they just forget. That's why I know that you're going to love Growth Day. It's the world's #1 system for self-improvement, and it's like all-in-one personal development in an app. And it has an awesome digital journal, and people love it. Growth Day's digital journal has hundreds of research-backed writing prompts for self-reflection, positive mindset, confidence building, and success. I use them all the time, and it makes me think in ways that I typically don't, and it makes me ask myself better questions, which we all know gets better results in our life. It even has prompts that help you develop a daily, weekly, or monthly habit of reflecting on your life and identifying areas to grow. So it's a perfect time of year to start journaling, you guys. When you sign up at Growth Day, you also get systems for habit tracking, goal setting, and scoring, and improving every area of your life. Best of all, I get to teach there too, you guys. I'm so excited. I hope that I get to see you. I teach live in Growth Day every single month with a new topic just for you. So join me there. Start your free trial at growthday.com/Lori. Hey all, I'm so excited to share with you, Earn Your Happy is now part of Growth Day Podcast Network. A bunch of us are coming together to bring more growth to the world and support shows and brands that we truly believe in. And one of my friends is also on the network, and I'd love for you to go subscribe to his show. You guys, Trent Shelton has the most incredible podcast. It's called Straight Up with Trent Shelton, and it's going to remind you that you are built for this. I have heard Trent speak in person multiple times. I've listened to his podcast a ton. He's coming on the show, and I literally cannot wait because this man just spits straight fire. It is like truth that goes to your core and makes you take action right away. If you want one of those podcasts that when you're just out on a walk, you can't help but want to start running and run through a wall in your life, this is the show to go listen to. So you guys, make sure that you go subscribe to the show, Straight Up with Trent Shelton. You're going to love it. Hey, I know if you're listening to this podcast that you have big dreams and big goals. And one of the things that can really stop you is struggling with your marketing. Trust me, I have been there. Are you using 10 different systems just to build your online business? Then I want you to try Kajabi. Kajabi helps you build your web pages, set up funnels, and sell your courses, content, coaching, or communities. You've been hearing me talk a lot about funnels on this podcast and the importance of your email list. You can get a free trial at kajabi.com. That's Kajabi.com. I've talked about Kajabi before, but here's something that's super cool and new. They just rolled out an AI assistant for creating your online course curriculum. And this means you just type in a topic that you want to create on a course or webinar, and bam, it just generates a sample outline for you. It takes a ton of the hard work away. Of course, you're going to customize it to be your own, but this really helps you get over the struggle of how in the world to start, which is where most people stop. If you're like me, starting is always the hardest part, and that's what makes Kajabi so popular. They've made it easier for creators to build web pages, build courses, build coaching programs, build membership sites, build checkout pages, and build email funnels. So if you're struggling with any of those, you got to go check it out. Go to Kajabi.com. Kajabi was really the first all-in-one system and is trusted by over 100,000 creators. I think that's good enough for me. Also has influencers and marketers who use this. And now their smart AI platform makes it easy to take what you know and turn it into an online course and business. Go start building with a free trial at Kajabi.com. That's Kajabi.com.